This is a Merrick Studios podcast. This week on Two Mothers, One Aché.
At my daughter's actual funeral, the Saturday of her homegoing celebration. Ceremony was wonderful. We're at the end and people are coming up to speak to me. And a woman comes over to me and she looks me in my eyes and she takes my hands and she goes, "How are you doing with your guilt?" Welcome to Two Mothers, One Aché, a grief dialogue. I'm Dionne.
And I'm Yvette. We're mothers, friends, and sisters in grief.
I lost my daughter, Siwe, at 15 years old.
And I lost my son, Dasan, at 26.
This podcast is our space to talk about grief, how it shapes us, how it lingers, and how love carries us through. Welcome to the conversation.
Hi, honey. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm loving that I put my big hoops on today.
Big hoop energy is a thing because we're going to be talking about some stuff and you're going to need some big hoop energy.
Yeah, and like when you start moving your neck and stuff, because how ridiculous some things could be, like I'm going to need to like move and see the glitter from my earrings. It makes me feel happy. It's like it just knocks against my neck and it feels right.
Listen, big hoop energy, here for it. You don't have to explain to me. You don't have to explain to me. Yo entiendo. I told you what I got today was my don't engage with cray cray, because people say things that are just off or cray cray. So this is my reminder, and that's what we're drinking coffee from today for this episode. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Thank goodness I'm in my soft auntie era, child, because otherwise,
people don't understand this is our soft side.
This is our soft side.
Oh my God. Whew. Okay. See, now I'm crying.
Bring it back in.
Okay.
Get focused.
Take a breath. I'm a podcaster. Come on, get it together, girl. All right. Okay, really. We have to start with breath. I've already got myself laughing to tears. I thought I'd need these for something else, but anyhow.
That's even better than the other tears.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much beauty and there's so much chaos and ridiculousness of what is expected of us as grievers that we're going to take a moment to settle ourselves. Evie and Dionne are just being ourselves, but we're going to settle with our breath. Y'all know this tradition, my folks at home, and it's our thing. So wherever you are, of course, if you're driving, I will ask you to keep your eyes open. But if you have the ability to be still, plant your feet on the ground, sit up tall, I enjoy placing one hand on my heart and one hand on my belly. And you can close your eyes or tilt them down. And we're just going to pause. Drop your shoulders, maybe wiggle them out a bit. Move your tongue around your mouth, unclench your jaw. Then let your belly press against your hand, like literally let it soften. Take a slow, long, deep breath in and let it go. Inhale so much that you might feel your belly and your chest press against your hands. And let that go. One last time, pull air in and allow your exhale to be a surrender, a release, a letting go of everything before this moment, so we can be present right here and right now.
I let out a silly sigh.
I did hear you. I tried not to laugh. Yeah, I did. And a silly sigh is important because people say the darndest things. Do you remember that TV show, Kids Say the Darndest Things?
That's right.
I'm dating myself, right?
Adults speaking to people in grief they also say the darndest things. So
they do.
Go figure.
And then like they fumble over themselves or they just don't speak to you. Oh, right. So I'm talking about it. So what we're covering today is sometimes in the light of someone passing, people feel really awkward and they want to say something and they don't know what to say. So this is, what do I say?
What do I say?
And what do I say? And the God's honest truth is that if you speak from your heart with intention, it's really better to say, Evie, I really don't know what to say. I can't imagine what you're going through, but I'm just so sorry and I'm here for you. I want to give you a hug. But if they go into things like when we had on another episode speaking to someone, it's like, oh, heaven needed a DJ. Well, I needed a DJ too. What's that supposed to mean?
You
Um,
know, I tell you, it's brilliant that we do this breath at the beginning of the episode because it is a moment to just reflect, to calm our nervous system, to allow us to move forward. This is a practice. Breathing is a practice. And so sometimes, you know, I guess throughout this episode, I know I'm personally going to be taking some deep breaths because I'm going to be triggered by some of the outlandish things that I was, you know, told while I was in deep, deep grief for the loss of my baby Dasan. And uh, I I invite our listeners today to take that breath with me. You know,
yeah.
as you start to think about the weirdest, the wildest, the most unexpected things that folks say to us, and try to put yourself with each breath in a place of unexpected comfort that you also receive because
Mm,
people get it right. And
sometimes they do.
sometimes they do. And, you know, this is not a lash at people episode. It really is. We're coming with our open hearts to be empathetic to everyone.
Mm.
And we hope that people receive that empathy and start to incorporate that in their lives as well. So, Dionne, uh, can you share with me and with the people maybe a phrase or a saying or something that someone said that stung you, that you were like, it almost took you aback, maybe, right? Like, can you share what
Not
that
no,
is?
yeah, it's not an almost girl. It's a real one. You know what? I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna give you two.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I'm gonna give you two. Because one of them, I probably shouldn't do this one. So I'm gonna start with the first one and then the other one, because I think this one relates to you as well. And in
Hmm.
the group that I have, some sisters, they mentioned this one. So I'll start with this one that collects all of us. They'll be like, oh, at least you have other children.
Oh, jeez.
Man, really? So
Oh.
so lost one child,
Mm.
I'm supposed to be like, it's fine, I've got two others, but it's not that one. Like what?
Is that
Like
like
really?
eggs? Like, oh, you broke an egg. There's 11 others in the like what the oh. See?
And that
Breathe, breathe, breathe.
right, because even the sister, we had a group and the birthday for two people I know grieving, the anniversary, and we've mentioned their names and their children. One child, her son would have been 5, the other person, her daughter, would have been 10. And they were told, like, oh, well, at least you're young, you can have other children.
Oh nah. Nah. What happens to somebody like me who, you know, had a geriatric birth? You're geriatric when you're 35 years old. If you haven't had a child by 35, it's called a geriatric pregnancy.
When I learned that, I was like, that is so horribly insensitive. Like the way women are treated in general around childbirth. But
Hmm.
now I'm already trying to get used to my body changing. I'm in full pause, y'all. Thank goodness for HRT. And you're going to call my pregnancy geriatric? I had no idea. I thought when the person said it to me, they were joking. And they were like, no, 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 that's what the doctor says it is. What? Okay, medical industry being rude and disrespectful. But okay. Okay, right. Breathe,
Oh,
breathe.
breathe, breathe, breathe.
So that was the one that I know connects us, that people have said. And then the one that I remember specifically, I might have told you this story before. I don't know if I told our listeners,
Mm.
but at my daughter's actual funeral, the Saturday of her homegoing celebration, ceremony was wonderful. We're at the end and people are coming up to speak to me. And a woman comes over to me and she looks me in my eyes and she takes my hands and she goes, "How are you doing with your guilt?"
Oh, wait, I'm grabbing for those that are like on Spotify, on Apple, and anywhere that there's no video. I'm like, what I'm grabbing for is my patience. I'm just like, please, oh, oh, nah. Oh, no, nah. Oh,
110%. And there's a line of people behind her. I looked at her.
nah.
Thank goodness for all of my years of acting and corporate experience. I looked at her, tilted my head, took a breath, and I looked at the person behind her and said, "Hi, how are you?" And I just started talking. I just went on to the next person because there was no way I could respond. That, now,
Mm.
now I was like, what am I supposed to say to that? What am I supposed to say to that? Now, thankfully, I was not feeling guilty. I had done everything I could to keep my daughter alive. Um, but for that to be the question you asked me at the end of the celebration when I have not seen you,
You know what, Dionne? Thank you. Thank you for, mm, wow. Oof. Thank you for sharing where you were mentally in that very second that she said that. Thank you for sharing that you were not feeling guilty in that moment,
yeah, yeah,
because that's the thing that people overlook.
yeah,
They do not know where you are, where your mental state is in the moment that they say things, which is why I specifically said this is an episode that the lesson in here is empathy.
yeah, yeah,
Come to me where I am, not where you are.
yeah,
That's really
yeah.
important.
And that's I don't know where we can cover this, but that's a whole different episode when I
Yes,
think about
ma'am.
the
Yes, ma'am.
majority of people are always coming to you from their personal thing. They're not really looking at you. And you know this, how we had to support people as we shared things. But
Yeah.
you know what? Let me not get into that. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Maybe let's switch it up a bit. What
Yeah.
is a phrase that actually brought you comfort? Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
How about
shared
you?
I shared this and I have 2 for you as well.
Okay.
I shared this in a past episode when I was told by my friends, um, Eric and Jeff. They said to me, "May his memory be a blessing."
I love that
Time
one.
that I heard that, and you and I, we at every episode, we talk about keeping their memory alive,
Yeah.
and, what an amazing direction that
Yeah.
was for me, that every time I think about Dasan, it is a blessing
Yeah.
to think.
Were they Jewish? I
Yes,
understand that it
Jewish. Yeah.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I learned of it. Mhm.
Yes.
Oh,
And that was pretty beautiful for me. I love that.
yeah.
Another one, oof, Dasan's friends from school. He
Mhm.
went to the ethical culture fields in school.
Oh, nice.
And he was there from pre-K, and finished up 12th grade. So for 14 years, these kids were together.
Mm,
They were truly his tribe. And his friends just would come and say, he really was the best friend I could ever have.
mm,
And so I guess that falls under the category of sharing your experience
yeah.
with the person who has transitioned on.
And it does create an additional memory for you of him as a blessing because you know him as your son. And I mean, with our children, there is some friendliness to it. They are friends, but it's in a different way.
That's
So it's nice that you got to see that in his eyes, in their eyes, in his friend's eyes, and hear it to know. It's like, oh,
yeah,
that's good to know. That's
yeah,
good to know.
yes. It was
I'm going to go through a list of some of the crazy things since we started with that, because now you've got me in this memory of, oh, and I want to laugh at some of the ridiculousness things.
okay.
Um,
Shoot, hit
okay.
me.
Hit you with one? Okay.
You want to make this like a little game? Maybe like you say the outlandish phrase, and I'm gonna give like some sort of a reaction, like an in the moment reaction.
Okay. I got you.
Let's
So
do it.
we're going to do it. Okay. You know, I know how you feel.
Do you though?
Mm. God, God has a plan, sister. God has a plan.
He ain't share that with me.
They're in a better place.
And where is that exactly?
Everything. You can say this one with me. Come on now.
Okay.
Happens
Everything
for a
happens
reason.
for a reason. Oh Lord. I mean, do you know something that I don't know?
Girl, clearly they got a direct line that we don't have. We're not in the club. We ain't in the club. We ain't in the club. We ain't in the club, girl. And okay, this one, this one took me away. It's hard to even say it. Here we go. This is the person speaking to you as you're grieving. I had no idea. Why didn't you call me? Really? Really?
that that one I would respond, I didn't even call you this time.
Okay.
But by the way, all of these kind of comebacks are actual like phrases or responses that lived in my head in real time as because I just smiled my way through them most of the time. And like you looked past them and said, okay, next. Who's next on the receiving line? Lord. Oh, go ahead, Dionne. You got more, Dionne? Because
well, the other one is enemy, and I'm a positive person. You know me. You've known me a long time. But when people look at you and it's like they want to put their hand on their shoulder and like, keep your head up, stay positive.
Like
I'm
right
just trying
now?
to stay alive.
Like right in this moment? Is this what I should be doing right now? Oh, is this like,
I mean, there is a time for grieving. Stay positive. And then, okay, this is another one. Folks at home, I know you know this one. Time heals all wounds.
But how much time? D, how much time does it take? How much?
I'm 14 years in and I do not feel healed.
Oh, there you go.
I'm functional. I'm
So
a functional griever.
So then my response would be, yeah, and why don't you tell me when you get there and then show me the way?
Yeah. You know.
Well, I want to talk about why those phrases land wrong. Okay.
Please do.
Yeah. And just like you said, thank God I wasn't feeling guilty in that moment. Okay. Because that phrase could have thrown you in there just by PTSD, just by trauma of what you were actively going through in that moment. So they minimize our pain.
Absolutely.
They minimize our pain, right? Like, oh, like time heals all wounds. Excuse me? Right. They want you to rush healing. Again, another time reference. Like you and I try to explain this in from a thousand different perspectives for our folks, for our fellow grievers, for our community here on Two Mothers, One Aché. We try to explain to you that you cannot rush the healing, that healing takes time, that you will be continuously healing, right? You know, there's also the one that really.
All right, Evie again. Evie, I got to pause again. They're
Mhm.
saying your internet is glitching, so I don't know what. There he goes. I am. Because I'm following the script, and I said I was waiting to see if you could hear or not. I wasn't going to stop her unless you said something. But
Okay.
like, I
Um,
know I'm figuring part of the stories. I'm not, yeah.
okay, hold on a second. I'm switching it. Okay, yeah. So it's that one. Let me, yeah. Is that better? Yeah, I closed everything on my computer, but the problem is my extender is probably glitching, so I switched over to the main one, but that's 2 stories down from me, and I live in an old house. Is this better now, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
because you
you
see the connection on your side, right, Tom? Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. So
So,
tell me if this starts to glitch, let me know, and then I'll switch it back or something. Okay?
okay. So,
Alright.
so wait, before you start again, so it was perfect where you were because you were really explaining. You'll start with, we train our community to come in that time, that that it's not time, it's the work that we do. So
Yeah.
just explaining what we say to the community. So you start that part and he'll have a clear way to come back in.
It's not really well, let me back up just a little bit. You and I do, in my opinion, an amazing job at reiterating over and over again from 1,000 different perspectives that it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort
Mm-hmm.
to get through the grief, to
That's
get
right.
to get to a place of healing. It's not
That's right.
healing. It's
That's
to a
right.
place of healing so that way we're actively healing.
That's right. That's
Right?
right.
We have to be actively grieving in order to get to actively healing. You say
Mm,
this all the time. You talk about being active in your grief, being active in your healing.
that's
So,
right.
so to rush the healing process to make it seem like it goes away, well, we've addressed that as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've talked
Yeah.
about how it just does not go away. So
No.
you might as well face it, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
this is
Thank
the
you for
kicker
that.
for me. This is the kicker for me. like
Uh-oh.
like the best kicker in I don't know, the NFL. This is the kicker for me.
Bring it. Bring it.
The lack of empathy. The lack of what they say, feeling actually what they say,
Mm-hmm.
understanding the emotion behind what they're saying, or the lack of emotion. There's no heart in what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
They're just repeating something that they heard before that they think they should be saying.
Right.
Pisses
Right.
me off.
And I try, I try so hard in those moments when not 14 years ago. Now, as I'm supporting people, and I'm thinking of a particular sister that lost 2 people recently, and that's that period of time where there are multiple losses. So it's the
Mm,
one is bad enough. And then when you have the others come, this compounded loss and grief and how to show up for others as you're showing up for yourself. So I'm thinking to myself, wow, I wonder how they're doing. Like, I wonder if they're able to get up and go to work. And I'm wondering what are the ways in which I can be helpful. And then I'm thinking, maybe it's something like that. Maybe these people that have said these ridiculous things to us, they haven't had the experience and don't even know how to empathize, right? Like I'm
yeah.
trying. I'm reaching Evie when
No,
I'm
no,
trying to
no.
figure.
Listen, go with it though, D. Because honestly, it takes it takes a lot. You're right now. You're exhibiting empathy, even though you're not totally there, right? Because it's very difficult for you to put yourself in someone's place who is lacking empathy, right?
Mm.
And so you're trying to reframe the narrative, and I want to support you 1,000% because it's important. Even if you're stumbling through it, I want to say I see you. So go ahead.
And And then I'm like, okay, they want to help. And it's when you know the person. Like the person that said the guilt thing, I didn't know her well. So I didn't know where she was going with it. But when like I'm gonna say it's you. If you never have, but if you were to say something to me that I thought was ridiculous, I'd be like, wow, there must be something else going on with her because I know her heart. And I want to say to myself that I think they want to be nice. They mentally, as you said, no heart. They mentally mean well. They mentally want to be nice, but it's not grounded in anything. So you know what? Let's switch and just talk about things that are really helpful. Let me hear what would be something you would say or something that's true for you that's helpful.
I would, if I knew the person personally, so let's say it's you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna come to you deep, and I'm literally gonna hug you, and I'm gonna say, I love you, and I'm right here with you.
Mm, that
Because
landed right.
I don't require a response. I don't require you, that statement doesn't require a response. It doesn't require
No.
you to work at it. It doesn't even require
Mhm.
you to think about it. You
Yeah.
just have to allow yourself to feel through that.
And we'll be right back.
I'm Bun B. I'm a host and a co-owner at Merrick Studios, and we just took things to the next level. Merrick Studios Plus is live, so tap in at wearemerrickstudios.com, get 65% off, and don't just listen, be a part of the show.
Master the art of lyricism with Pendulum Mink, the first school for rap. Learn elite techniques through immersive lessons, real-world exercises, and guidance from hip-hop icons. This is where MCs sharpen their skills and glow boldly on the mic. Ready to level up? Visit pendulummink.com and start your journey today.
And now, back to the show.
And
Even as
understand, I'm telling you where I am with you. Right
Yeah.
here. Go nowhere.
And you covered so many things, letting me know that you're here with me. And because quite often grievers feel isolated, they feel alone, they feel as though nobody is there with them. Even if there's like, I had a house full of people, you had a house full of people, they're coming over, but you feel so alone in your brain of what's happening. So for you to have the touch and to have the word to pull me out of myself, I felt that right now. So thank you.
You know, when people say things like, "Oh, I know how you feel," right? That was one of the
Mm-mm,
ones that mentioned earlier in
mm-mm,
the
mm-mm.
um
No, you don't. No, you don't.
there's an alternative to that, right? There is, I don't have the words, but I'm here for you, right?
Yeah.
That, so not, and you can say that to someone that you don't really necessarily know very well.
And
It'll
then there's
land really well because guess what? We also don't have words. Grievers don't have the words.
the words, the action, the clothes, the shower, the I got to get out of bed. And so when somebody then like, I'm the action person. You are too. But like I think of me as Aries. That's like I'm going to send food. I'm not going to send flowers. I want you to eat because I think food is love. So that the people that take the action things, you don't know what to say what Evie said. I didn't know what to do, so I brought you food. I made soup. I hope you like it. I want to feed your body so you can get through this.
Right.
And then, I love a good coffee. Show up
Yeah.
with some coffee. Dame una cafecita.
That's right.
Some pastries. Like, just show up to feed the people. And we know that's a part of our cultural traditions, but you don't have to say something stupid if you show up with love. I remember this. Did I tell you this story? Like people would be at my house. I'm in a 2-story. I come downstairs. Somebody's doing laundry. Like, yes, they didn't know what to say to me. They did the dirty clothes. They washed the walls. They made smoothies. You show up and do the things. I put everything in a bag. I didn't know what was important. These things were on the floor. I put a note like these were bills. These are things. Do a thing. Don't look at my problems and my grief and pity me. Show up and do the work. Don't ask
pity
me what. Show
Don't
up.
pity me. Just be like, and when you come down them steps, right? Basically what they're telling you, whether they're saying it with words or they're saying it with their heart, but they're telling you, Dionne, no need to think. Everything is taken care of. You just have to exist in this moment. That's it. And that is laborious for someone
Mm,
who's in grief. It's hard to just exist,
girl.
let alone anything else. So if you come downstairs, I very similar to me, I would be in my bed and there was an entire activity. My entire community was downstairs and they're fixing plates and they're doing this and whatever. They're hanging out. They're comforting each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I came downstairs, I knew everything was taken care of.
I have to take a breath just because as I'm telling you, I have the memories. Like, it's interesting to be in this space with you in a place that feels really good. Like, I love sharing this and I love talking to you, but in telling the stories, there's a part of me that goes back to what it
Mm,
felt like to walk down those stairs. So it's surreal, this time travel in the conversation. Um,
mhm,
but I also want to point out in a state of fiscal exigency, right? Like right now, people have challenges with money. Everything that we're talking about, most of it doesn't cost much, right? One girlfriend, she came with rice. Now, we all know how much you can buy a pack of white rice and cook and show up with rice. And she had put garlic in here. You know,
mhm.
is it mojo, conajo?
Yeah,
It's the
mojo. Yep.
mojo. Okay. So we call her the garlic rice lady. And that was, she knows my family loves her garlic rice. She came with a big thing of garlic rice. It
Mhm.
took time and effort. So these are things that you could do that are not gonna break the bank.
That's right.
It's it's you showing up. And, like,
And
maybe if you live someplace
we
else, but
Caribbean folks, we love our rice. Like, we'll eat rice with anything all day, 3 meals a day. Like, yes, please, and thank you. And it doesn't cost a lot. But how
yeah,
about, so like you said, folding the laundry doesn't cost anything.
right.
Coming
I
in
have
and
to
making
wash
sure
the
all the things
dryer,
are
the laundry
organized,
detergent. Yeah, it's labor. Come do the labor.
come to labor. That's right. That's right.
Mm,
So, don't think that you cannot help and assist in those moments. But I want to also go back to, this is a great segue,
mhm,
because just like people think that if they're not spending money or sending flowers or whatever, that they can't help, people also who do not know what to say nothing. And that is the worst
mhm.
option. The worst option of all is say nothing. Grief is isolating on its own.
Yeah,
And you fuel that isolation energy by just staying back because you don't
yeah,
know what to say. And so the hope
yeah,
here is that we give you those tools so that you do not do that. And we're telling you directly that is the worst option.
yeah. There's one of the people, the name I'm gonna mention when we do our Aché moment, the person said the person said it was like a close friend and it was their
Mm,
mother that passed and they just
mm,
disappeared. They didn't show up at the funeral. And even there, again, with me trying to practice empathy, I'm like, damn, girl, like, what were they going through to think that that was a good option? And then, so in grieving the loss of her mother, that she's also grieving the loss of a friend because it's like, you can't really be my sis to not reach out to me and not show up, to just ghost me, right? Don't folks listening, wherever you are, whatever you're going through, here's if you don't remember anything Yvette and I say, don't ghost a griever.
that's right. And most times it will be the end of the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just frankly speaking, it'll be it has it will put you in a position as as a griever to look at that situation and say, "Oh, okay, in my lowest, you couldn't show up. So I understand that moving
That's right.
forward." Because grief changes you cellularly.
Listen.
And so whatever version of yourself that you emerge, as on the other side of that grief, that's the version that's going
Mhm.
to remember that you didn't show up for them.
That's right. That's right. And how you can show up, fam. How you can show up. Evie gave an example. I gave an example. And if you want to ask the question, like maybe the person is shy. Like I can think of one friend that doesn't love hugs, but I would ask her,
Mhm.
would it be helpful if can I show up and just sit with you?
That's right.
I'm gonna call and check on you tomorrow.
Mhm.
And what you said when you did the visual and I felt it in my whole body where you hugged me and said, I'm right here with you, sis. So I know you're there for me.
Mhm.
Um, so
And
folks
being
at home,
there, I'm sorry, excuse me. And being there in that moment, you're going to see. as the support system, as the village, as the community of the griever, you're going to see very quickly what your person, what your griever needs.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then they won't have to ask you. You're going to see it. And then
Yeah.
you're going to, through that love, through that connection, through just being there and sitting there and observing, you're going to be able to provide your loved one with the support that they need in that moment without having to ask them for direction, without having to ask them for permission. Permission's a big one. I
Yeah.
have I have people knocking on my door all day, every day, all day, every day. They didn't ask if they could come over.
That's
They
right.
was like, "We here. We
Yeah.
are here." Yeah.
And so if you're at home, and I don't want you to feel bad. We don't want you to feel bad, because I don't know about you, Yvette, but I have definitely opened my mouth and inserted my foot a couple of times. And then I make good and say, I'm sorry. But so don't sit in the, oh, I did one of those things they said I shouldn't do. I've said those things before. We've heard them, we parrot them. Think of something you can say. Pull from what I've said, what Yvette has said, just to go, I'm here for you. I'm going to call you. I'm going to bring over food. Um, the text message, the phone call. I wouldn't answer my phone. A lot of people won't answer their phone. But hearing your voice on the other end when they listen to the message going, I can't imagine what you're going through. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm going to check in on you. And don't expect them to call you.
Yeah,
You reach
that's
out.
right. Yeah.
But I want to think about some of the things we talk about, our culture, the cafecita, and
Mhm.
food being love. But
Mhm.
now there's so many things that we've heard culturally that people say that, I don't know. I feel like they don't fit me anymore. I don't
Mhm.
love that God reference. I don't love that they're in a better place. I don't love that God needed an angel. I feel like some of those comments give us reason to be angry with God, right?
Yes.
Because,
Yes.
and
You know how they do. You know how they do on Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer.
no, everybody's clapping it up with Steve Harvey now, right? But
Good answer. Good
it's like,
answer.
nah,
Yes.
no. So I want to keep thinking of things of the better language, right? We've talked about things and culturally things that we've learned, but we've reframed a lot of things that we do culturally,
Mhm.
right? Because
Mhm.
we've grown, we've been through some things, right? And we've lived through some things, girl. And so
Yeah.
now, if you've outgrown a phrase, what can you replace it with?
Well,
And just kind of think about that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll tell you, I don't necessarily like the God references that leave you kind of in the abyss, right? With no direction. I do, however, I personally, um, I appreciate a good scripture,
Mm, mm,
particularly the Psalms,
mm.
particularly Psalm 23. And I would sit there and listen to a scripture
Okay.
or a meditation book. My
Yeah.
therapist referred me to a book called 365 Days, um, Grief in 365 Days. And
Oh,
I would read the day, and then the day before, and then the day after, and maybe even 3 days ahead, and really just pull very simple, m affirmative quotes, and I share those with grievers. Like,
I love that. I
even
feel like I
now
need to order that. Yeah.
even now, it's a great book. I'll order it for you, child. I'll get it for
I
you
do.
because I gift
Definitely.
it. I don't even have my own copy anymore because I've gifted it and I've rebought and I've regifted because
Mm.
I just really feel that it's super important. And if you don't have the exact words, but you do want to say something, borrow it from a meditation book, an affirmation book that's specifically about grief or specifically about your religious or spiritual beliefs, especially if you share them with the person that
Yeah.
is your loved one that's grieving. So, those are some cultural nuances that I truly appreciate.
I love that. And in us discussing the possibility of how we can reframe it, I I know you and I have talked about this, and I think it's great to share, like, the examples of I'll start with one, and I know you'll take it from there. I in every community, my friends, my family, the yoga studios, just wherever I am, I'm that person, like, I'm the strong friend, right?
Mm.
And so when someone looks at me and I now this I'm ready to cry over. When someone looks at me and they acknowledge me, it's like, "Oh, you're so strong," or the hand on the shoulder and "Stay strong." And I'm like, I don't wanna be strong. I don't wanna hear that. I want them to look at me like you held me and it's like, "It's okay if you fall apart, cause I got you. I
God.
got you." Like I am so hooked up with that.
I'm gonna take it from here. You take your breath, sis. I
Okay.
don't want to feel strong. I don't feel strong. These are my responses in my head, okay? And I may or may not have said it, depending on mixed company, out loud. You're so strong. You're such an example. You're so, oh my God. I got so offended by that at a certain point. I couldn't take it because I felt like the weakest, most vulnerable person on earth in those moments. And
Absolutely.
I didn't want to carry the burden of being strong for not only for myself, but for everyone, for my daughters, for my husband, for my friends, for my community. The responsibility is too much.
Too
Do
much.
not ask me to
Too
be
much.
strong in this moment. Do not ask anyone who's grieving to be strong. Allow them to be as weak as they need to be and be the comfort that they need. Be the cushion
Ashe.
that they need to fall on. Be
Ashe.
that.
Ashe. Yeah. And the things like, I'm crying now, right? You cry, we shed tears. They wouldn't want you to cry. First of all, I would get ready to curse. I'm good. Can we curse on our program? I would get ready to say,
Yeah,
what the F?
yes. What the
Literally, and
F?
that's it. They wouldn't want you to cry. The fuck? How do you know what the fuck shit they would want? But okay. Um,
Oh, the stuff's coming out. I love it. Say it
and
again. Say it
so
again. I want you to
instead
say it
of
again. Say it again.
No. So instead of they wouldn't want you to cry, how about your tears? Like I tell you, get your tissues. You told me, take the time you need. You want to cry? I got you. Like I'm really hold me in your arms and be like, I got you. Hold them in their arms, look them in their eyes, take all the time you need. Your tears are sacred. There's this wonderful quote that someone gave me. And I always mess it up, but it's something that salt water is the cure for anything. And it's whether it's the tears or the ocean. And I'm paraphrasing it. I need to get the right one, but the tears are sacred. Like acknowledge where they're coming from and that release that's coming out. Acknowledge that my tears are sacred. Let me cry as much as I need to. And let me know you got me. It's like, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and don't start any sentence with at least and just. If you're going to start a sentence, if you are going to start a sentence with at least, just be quiet. Don't.
Just be quiet.
Give me a hug and say, I don't know what to say. Don't start with, at least you have other children. At least you're young and you can have more kids. At least they didn't suffer. At least
But
if it
when they
starts,
say that, as if your pain is not real, is as if, again, going back to minimizing the grief, minimizing the pain. That, please, I just want everyone to understand that that when you say things like this, again, that have no empathy attached to them, no heart attached to them, what you end up doing is compounding the pain. There's no relief in that. There's no comfort in those sayings, in those statements.
yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, and we went through a lot of them already in terms of the language, but and we talk so much about stay strong since we're the strong friends, but coming back to the everything happens for a reason, don't go there. Cause I mean, you've got to get your Medea side eye. You got to get the chancleta. You need to get a chancleta thrown at you for that one.
Listen, and again, your words don't have to be perfect. We're not asking for
They
perfection.
don't.
They don't have to be perfect. They do, however, have to come from your heart. Don't pull them out of a
Yeah.
hole guard. Don't pull them, don't pull them out of the ether. Don't repeat something that you hear people say all the time and you just think that should be that is what you should be saying. Your words do not have to be perfect. They have to be heartfelt, though.
And you brought up, the silence, right? And the silence of a
Mhm.
loved one disappearing and the avoidance and how hurtful that is. And how, you said, and I agree with you, that is the most hurtful response. So if you're struggling, because yes, I struggled with the death of your son, but I'm going to give that to another friend who's not actively grieving, and come to you with, I'm thinking of you. My text messages, love never dies. You want people to pray? I'm going to put people on the prayer. Tom, I'm going to do the things that you said when you put the call out. And then even asking, because I didn't see you at that time, but I stayed in contact with you. But if we were close by, then it would be like, all right, do you want company or space? Like those are simple options, company or space. And like you said, your people were like, and my girlfriend, the garlic rice lady, I was like, please don't come over. She showed up with food. But that's a question. Instead of disappearing, you want company or space?
I want to jump in.
Come on.
So try your best to refrain. When someone is let me preface that. When someone is in active grief, please try your best to refrain from asking them, how are you?
Dead. You got chalk lines on the floor. The question is too big. Chalk lines, dead on the floor, dead. Was it Law and Order, SVU? There's chalk lines on the floor.
Because you really can open yourself up to a tongue lashing after that question. Somebody might say, how the F do you think I'm feeling?
That part.
I mean, depending on where they are in their active grief, they may respond that way. And that's going to cause you to clutch your pearls. Again, be empathetic. Try to put yourself in your loved ones or the griever's place. Try to feel their pain, because then you wouldn't have to ask that question. You know what I adopted? I adopted a tool, a coping mechanism for that. Can I share that?
Please. And then we're gonna get our Aché in.
Okay, very good. You know that oftentimes when you're in an active grief, right, that you're not even connected to your own feelings in that moment. You're reactionary in those moments. And so when people would ask me, how are you? I would take a second, like literally a 2-second pause, and say, oh, okay. And then in that 2-second pause, I would scan myself from the top of my head to my toes. And then I would say, oh, you know what? My left pinky toe hurts right now. And it's kind of annoying. Other than that, I'm not really feeling anything. It would force me to take a second, 2 seconds to be exact, and scan myself. And I didn't hold back. Like, I didn't lie. Those moments, it wasn't a generic response. Generic responses make my gut feel nasty. So I would say,
And I love that.
I'm present.
It's a
I'm
body
present
scan.
I just wanted to show them that I was present in my own feelings. And sometimes it wasn't nice.
I love that. And I love, because there's another group where we do a body scan. So doing a body scan, but I've lately, honestly, sis, I've just been telling people, how are you is too big. There's so many things I'm holding space for that I need a small, specific question. How was breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
How Like, did you eat? Like, there's a friend that lost someone recently. I texted him, I was like, did you eat today? Did you drink water? Ask a small, specific question, because how are you is so big. And my answer, I think I shared it with you. I'm losing what I've shared with you personally and what I've shared on the episode, is my answer to how are you is I'm dying with a smile on my face. Yeah,
Mm.
you're like, oh my God, you look so great. I am dying with a smile on my face. And you don't want to hear that. So if you ask me, I like that body scan response. I'm going to start using that for the how are you. But I'm going to pass it to you because I feel like I've been running my mouth the whole time to bring in the Aché moments, and let me get my names together, because I think we've given them enough. Y'all need to save the episode, because you're going to need to listen to this again. And we're going to do our Aché moment. Go for it,
Sure.
Yvette.
So if you're just tuning in with us on this episode, because you're the listener that likes to start from the most recent and then move their way down, we take a moment at the end of every episode to breathe Aché. Aché means life force. Breathe Aché into our loved ones, your loved ones. We're taking names in and we're sharing them. And the belief is, our belief is that our loved ones are truly never gone, like not fully gone until the last person says their name. And so in this practice, we invite everyone to say the name and breathe life force into their loved ones' memories. And with that, this week, my Aché is dedicated to my comadre's brother, Joseph Guadalupe. The loss of a sibling is often not talked about. And then if the transition was particularly difficult, it can really fracture the sibling's life. And I know this just watching Eva go through the loss of Dasan and watching Dina go through the loss of her Joey. And so I want to say Aché to Joseph Guadalupe this week. That's my Aché.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to read the names I got. I won't share all the stories with them, but Nan Kalaleku Tayahimba, Justin Ross, Tina Allen, Aunt Cynthia Wallace, and Ramona Anderson. Aché, Aché, Aché.
Aché.
Please send us your names. Thank you, Evie, for such a great conversation. I love you.
I love this conversation.
Mwah.
It's so funny.
See you next time.
Bye, guys. Tune in again.
We'd love for you to join the conversation with us on Instagram at 2, that's the number 2, mothers, 1, the number 1, Aché Pod, and produced and distributed by Merrick Studios.
Until next time, may love carry you through.